Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt back again with my weekly review of The Walking Dead. This is going to be for episode 8, the mid-season finale for season 6, entitled Start to Finish. Alright, guys, like all mid-season finales, it was pretty action-packed, pretty damn intense the whole way through, especially with the last episode ending with the tower falling and knocking the part of the wall down, and the walkers just started to flood in. With all the commotion, remember Ron looked like was stalking Carl, like he was going to try to shoot him. Obviously, when all this went down, that didn't happen. So, like I said, it was pandemonium. Maggie was chased up with the ladder, the little lookout ladder. So they had like the little platform. They had the little ladder up to it. The walkers pushed the ladder over, but she ended up getting up there, and she was just kind of stuck like a treed cat. Really, the walkers are just waiting on her, but she's like stuck up there. And Rick and Deanna helped out Rick. Rick was shooting him with his revolver, and Deanna came and was trying to help him and everything. And then with all that going on, she ended up falling on a like a buzzsaw. I don't know. Like I said, because they were doing construction, there was a buzzsaw or something sitting there, and it cut her back pretty bad. And but then Jesse and Michonne and Father Gabriel and Ron and Carl, they all got together and they went to and got into Jesse's house and shut all the doors, trying to barricade it off, and so they could figure out what they were going to do. And also another group was Tara, Rosita, and Eugene. They got into one of the houses in like the garage part, and they were kind of just stuck there trying to figure out what they're going to do. And then another group was, like I said, remember last episode was Carol had confronted Morgan about who he had as prisoner, and after the wall fell and the walkers came in, I guess they were still outside. They heard the commotion, so they were running, and Carol fell and bumped her head pretty bad. So she had maybe a mild concussion or something. She was kind of out of it, was bleeding from her head. And her and Morgan took refuge in the same house where the wolf is, but it was like downstairs, like the basement part it looked like, and they were upstairs. And of course she was a little out of it and concussed, so she was kind of just sitting there, and Morgan's like, sit down before you fall down, and we'll get to our problems later, but we have bigger problems right now with all the walkers in Alexandria. So at that point, we also saw Glenn and Enid on the outside of the walls, and Glenn was he's not giving up. He wants to go in. He's determined to go save his wife, his pregnant wife, he said. And Enid was just, she was still being real pessimistic and everything. And he told her, fine, you can stay out here if you want, but he's going. He's going to try to go and do what he see what he can do to save somebody, save the people. And at the end of the episode, Glenn and Enid, or I guess Enid ended up going with him. They climbed up a tree and could see over the walls, and they see Maggie was stuck up there on that little ledge, little lookout perch they had. And that's all they showed. So I'm sure next episode they're going to see Glenn trying to get in there and and I'm sure he'll end up saving Maggie, and then it'll be a nice reunion and everything. But anyways, back to the main part was the Rick and all them in Jesse's house. They were barricaded up in there, and they were tending to Deanna because she had got cut with that buzzsaw, like I said. And once they were checking her wounds, you could also see that she had got bit. And it was just, it was pretty funny. Probably the best line in the episode is we see her bite. She looks down at her bite and just says, "Well, shit." I thought it was pretty funny and very, very good. Well written line, and and the lady that plays Deanna, I think her name is Tova. I don't know her last name. I know her first name is Tova, but she just delivered the line perfect. It was spot on. But anyways, also, in the same time in the house, Ron is in the garage, kind of sulking. Carl goes in there and tries to talk to him, calm him down, see what's going on. And then, of course, Ron's going off about, we're all dead. Your dad killed my dad. Now we're gonna die. Whatever. He's just, And Carl's trying to explain to him, no, my dad's going to figure something out. And then Ron's like, well, you're dead. And he pulls a gun on him. They struggle around. Carl gets, knocks the gun away from him. But in the process, there's a shovel in there, and Ron tries to hit Carl with it, and Carl moves, but Ron knocks one of the windows out in the garage. And of course, walkers hear the commotion. They come over, and then they end up getting in through the window, and Rick saves them in the nick of time. But Ron had locked the garage, the door to go inside the house, so Rick had to knock off the lock which is pretty cool. I forgot to mention Rick's. I don't know where he got it. I guess it's in Jesse's house. Maybe he got it, but he got like a hatchet, which he has in the comics. Is like his main thing in the comics is a hatchet. So that's kind of cool. Kind of, paying homage to that. But anyways, he had to use the hatchet to get the lock, knock off the lock, so he could, save them. And then they had to barricade it with like a couch, I think it was. Yeah, they had a couch. They had to barricade the walkers in the garage, and the door's not gonna latch because he had to knock off the lock with the hatchet to get in. And of course, Rick asked what happened, and Carl covers for Ron. Said, "Oh well, I forgot exactly. I had to go back and watch exactly what he said, but he basically covered for Ron. Didn't tell him that Ron was trying to kill him because he knows Rick would have killed him on the spot, no doubt. He probably wants to do it himself, I'm assuming. So after that, Carl follows Ron into another room and basically, tells him, yes, my dad killed your dad, but your dad was an asshole. Basically he told him, and he took the gun from Ron. He took his gun from him. He said, "Give me your gun." He pulled his gun on him and said, "Give me your gun. You're not gonna be trying to hurt us." So I guess that's the end of that for the time being. Also later on, Deanna, she's bit, so they know that it's a matter of time. She's gonna turn. She's gonna be out of there. So they gotta figure out what they're gonna do with her. Towards the end of the episode, the walkers start getting in the front of the house, and like I said, then they started going upstairs. They try to barricade the stairs with some couch, like another couch. And Rick has the idea. He's like, we need to get to the armory, and this is how we're gonna do it. He tells Michonne we need 2 walkers. We're gonna do the guts thing, like from season 1 when Rick and Glenn did they put all the guts on them, and Carol did it at Terminus as well. So they're gonna try to walk. All of them are trying to walk to the armory to get some flare guns. Rick said to like draw them away and whatnot. So they take the 2 walkers, so they're gutting them, and they're putting their little, I guess I call them ponchos, like walker ponchos. They're putting all the guts on them and everything. And of course Sam, Jesse's youngest, he's all scared. He doesn't want to do it. He's it's the monsters, whatever. So no, it's working. Father Gabriel and all of them, they're going out, and the walkers don't notice them, and they get on the front porch and they start walking off the front porch. And Sam's just like, Mommy, Mom. Of course, drawing attention, that's not good. So obviously shit's going to hit the fan in the next episode because walkers are going to get on to, they're going to hear him talking. And I have a feeling I know what's coming because what happened in the comics. So we'll have to wait and see if they changed it up any in episode 9. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I ain't going to spoil that for the time being. But that's how that part of the story ends for this episode. And the other part, Carol eventually, she basically pushes Morgan aside, like kind of bamboozles him and gets him out of place. She runs down there with her knife, tries to kill the wolf, and then Denise is down there trying to doctor the woman. And she's like, stop doctoring him. This guy is evil. We need to get rid of him. And of course, Morgan's, I can't allow you to do that. All life is precious. His little main spiel, like he always does. And Carol basically says, he goes, "Get out of my way. I will kill you to kill him so nobody else dies." So they're basically at a standoff, and Morgan ends up knocking the knife away with a stick, and they kind of struggle. He ends up slamming Carol down, knocking her unconscious. But in the meantime, while this is going on, of course, the wolf gets up and knocks out Morgan from behind. I'm not sure if he knocks him out with his stick, if Morgan dropped his stick. I don't remember. But he knocks him out, needless to say. And then, of course, he takes he gets the gun. from Morgan. I think Morgan had a sidearm. Maybe it was Carol's, but he gets the gun. No, take that back. I take that back. I'm sorry. He gets a knife. I think it was either Carol's knife or maybe it was Morgan's side knife or something. And he cuts himself loose. And then, of course, he's about to do something to Denise. And Tara, Eugene, and Rosita come in because they were in the garage. I guess that was connected to the same house. And Eugene picked the lock to get into the house because it was locked. They didn't want to waste a bullet to shoot it to open it. And so they come in, and of course, the wolf is like, "Give me your guns," or she dies. He has her at knife point, and then whenever they push all the guns over, he takes one of the guns, and then he has her, like a hostage at gunpoint. He takes Denise out, which is stupid. There's freaking walkers everywhere, but he takes her out, and they leave. They go out, and he closes the door behind them, and then Eugene and Tara and Rosita are just standing there all dumbfounded, like while Morgan and Carol are knocked unconscious. So a lot of stuff going on at the same time in this episode, stuff everywhere. And I guess it's all going to come to a head and conclude in episode 9, which unfortunately we got to wait 11 weeks for that. So that's a bummer. But yeah, all in all, I thought this episode was freaking awesome. 10 out of 10. And, balls to the wall, action packed. That's the way I love it on these freaking mid-season finales and finales. They just go all in. And like I said, and by the way, Deanna went out as they were leaving, doing their Walker Guts thing. Deanna went out to Blaze of Glory. She was upstairs in the upstairs bedroom. She took her gun out, and instead of shooting herself, she just started shooting walkers in the head. Boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. And she went out taking as many out as she could. She went out, fighting, which is kind of cool to see. So, and then of course we had to wait till the first commercial of Into the Badlands, but the after the credits scene, which I had a spoiler video on here, which was pretty much spot on what they said on the spoiler, that we on the Spoiling Dead fans had reported. Basically, Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha were going back to Alexandria, and they got caught on. They're on the road with that fuel tanker, and then there's like 7 bikers, and they're just parked in the middle of the road. Basically, they can't go anywhere. They're blocking the road, so they stop, and of course, the one biker, he's off his bike, and he tells them, go ahead and come on out here with us, because, if you don't, we're going to end your ass. He's basically threatening them. So they come out, and then, the guy says, "We want your weapons." And, and Daryl says, "Why?" He goes, "Because it doesn't belong to you." He says, he's like, "Nothing belongs to you. The truck, the fuel tanker." And he starts naming all this stuff, none of that is yours anymore. And then Sasha's like, "Well, whose is it?" And of course, this is how the whole thing ends. He says, "Everything now belongs to Negan." So freaking awesome. Unfortunately, we got to wait 2.5 months to see how everything's going to pan out, but really cool way to leave us hanging. And they just went out with the bang for the first half of season 6. I can't wait for second half of season 6 just to see where they go. And I know they're going to be going with this, they're going to be doing stuff with the Saviors and Negan, and this is going to be awesome. I can't wait. But I know I ran this one a little long, but like I said, I knew it was going to be a little longer review because there was so much stuff going on, just action-packed everywhere in this episode. Very awesome. Like I said, the only death we got was Deanna. So, but I have a feeling episode 9, we might see a few more deaths in the mid-season premiere. So they still got to conclude a few things in Alexandria. There's still walkers everywhere. So who knows what's going to happen. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all checking out this review. Like I said, sorry it's a little long, but there was a lot of stuff to get into on this one. But yeah, freaking awesome. Can't wait till it comes back. Give me a like if you like this review. Share it with your friends so they can check it out, and give me a subscribe if you like what you see and really like Walking Dead. Get some more, always try to add more content for you guys. And appreciate the love, and I will see y'all next time. Y'all be good.
Welcome to Woodburn.